Welcome, fellow babies, and we're starting it off tonight with GB News.
It's the fake news report.
Oh, it is indeed. We have a horrid cow-flinging piece of trash starting us off with this nonsense.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has admitted that over $100 billion in US aid, that's taxpayers' money, has vanished into thin air.
That was Bev Turner from GB News, their YouTube channel, website, and a free-to-air broadcaster in the UK as well, with a little bit of a right lean, as you're about to see, and an obvious political agenda.
It turns out that this proxy war with the West was indeed the most murderous, indefensible, biggest money laundering operation in history.
So, agenda found. As soon as they hear a headline that makes Ukraine and Zelensky look bad in any way, they run with it like whiskey-soaked clowns chasing children. It's unbelievable. They pounce on it so quick it's not funny. Now, I could intro right here what she's really going on about, but let's let her little overzealous ha-ha, I caught you moment do it for us.
These revelations about a mystery missing $100 billion come straight from Zelensky himself in an interview with the Associated Press.
So what is this land-burning communist actually talking about? Well, let me show you with a little clip here with the AP News interview with Zelensky. The translation of his words are right below him and above the headline. And if you look closely at the bottom of what's going to be on the big screen there, it says accuracy confidence low.
Тобто 100 мільярдів з цих 177 або 200, говорять навіть деякі люди, ми ніколи не отримували. І це важливо.
Now, I left the GB News stinger in there because I wanted to show you that they cut it right there, not us, right? And did you see what his last sentence was? It says, and this is important, but they cut it right off. Zelensky's not saying there's $100 billion missing. That's moronic nonsense. What he's saying is the Ukrainian people received around $77 billion directly, and the rest goes for procurement of weapons, transportation, training, and shall we say the logistics of war. There is no story here at all, but you've got these right-wing leaning morons going full-on fake news liar with this story. And where do you think the blame falls? We always have to show you who gets blamed.
Joe Biden, otherwise known as the big guy, in need of his 10%, swore for years that every penny was accounted for, that Ukraine was a noble cause worth our billions of dollars and British pounds. Now, with Trump back in office, the curtain has been pulled back.
And we finally get to our true agenda here with GB News. Their real agenda is hard, right-wing leaning, ass-kissing of the ring that is worn by Trump. This is political ideology at war and nothing else. They are literally using a non-story to push their own narrative. This is all it is. They don't stop there, though, because they also try to sow division.
And it is Zelensky himself who is raising the alarm. Curious that.
No, Zelensky didn't raise an alarm at all, Bev from GB News. All he tried to do was have an honest conversation, and it takes a right-wing lunatic like yourself to twist it into this kind of nonsense. What can I say here, everybody? You got to vote with your wallets. If you go to their website, if you watch their over-air content, if you click their YouTube channel and whatnot, you're giving them clicks, which gives them money. Vote with your wallets and let moron, sack-licking pieces of garbage like this know that political propaganda stuck into the news is not to be tolerated. What a joke.
Yeah. Unfortunately, people are eating this shit up.
I know.
I can't believe it. Can't believe it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, though, you know, talk about, you know, this massive money laundering operation. This is the whole reason why the war existed. Oh, thanks, Putin, for invading Ukraine so we can start this money laundering program that we've been dying to do. What the fuck are you on about?
I know. It's the most moronic thing. How many people have died, infrastructure and everything, just so we could launder money? It's the dumbest. Bev, you're an idiot. So is GB News. Oh, man. Dunk, you got something to clean the palate with here? We need a saving.
Yes. Now, have you ever thought to yourself, we should have more animals in politics, more cats? And yes, we have more cats in politics because this is Palmerston, the former chief mouser at the Foreign Office. and he's come out of retirement for a new perfect job in Bermuda. The news posted on Wednesday on his own official Diplomog account on social media comes more than 4 years after it was announced that he was retiring from public life to get a quieter and easier life in the countryside. Palmerston had been adopted by Foreign Office diplomat Andrew Murdoch when he retired as chief mouser. That's the cat, not the not Andrew Murdoch. And Murdoch has now been appointed as governor of Bermuda. Diplomacy and a perfect role have lured me out of retirement, the Post said. I've just started work as feline relations consultant, semi-retired, to the new governor of Bermuda. I've been having busy meetings and very welcoming Bermudians have been supporting me. As the Foreign Office said, Palmerston will attend only the meetings he deems important, like any old cat, offering advice when necessary and indulging in well-earned naps. Yes. Palmerston, who is named after the longest-serving British Foreign Secretary, Lord Palmerston, arrived in government in April 2016 as a rescue cat, and he was regarded with affection and showered with treats by the Foreign Office staff, and occasionally bringing them dead mice in return. Those dead mice have been sent to the Treasury. That's going to be my retirement fund. Yeah. He said less than smooth diplomatic relations with Larry, the cat in residence at nearby 10 Downing Street. The two were sometimes seen fighting in the street outside the Prime Minister's home.
It's left versus right again.
It is. Politics is always fighting. Larry was spotted limping in 2016 after he was apparently injured during a fight with Palmerston. Yes, the Foreign Office gets the upper hand or paw. It was the latest clash between the two cats after Larry injured Palmerston during an altercation in 2011. So they've been at it, like cats and dogs, or cats and cats. But Larry continues to reign as chief mouser to the Cabinet Office, and a post he has held since 2011 under 6 prime ministers.
That's funny.
Yeah, prime ministers disappear faster than the cat does.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, we had Kermit the Frog of the Muppet Show fame. He sent in a little clip in his support of the cat back in politics.
It's good news.
I think so. There's a history of this with like dogs and cats and stuff. And I think there was even like a goat once. Here, we'll hit that. It's a funny thing,
What we call Trump, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think he's more like the excrement that falls from the goat.
True.
Yeah. So a little story about technology in Walmart, but not the way you're probably thinking. So an Idaho man had a theft scheme going on, and what he did was he had a ring that had a Campbell's soup barcode in the ring, so he could scan things out of Walmart and only pay for a can of soup. He got a grill and a whole bunch of electronics and whatnot. The guy cleaned up. His name is Dylan Rockwell. He's 32 years old, and he admitted to police that he was using a ring with the hidden barcode to steal high-value items from Walmart in Caldwell, a suburb of Boise, Idaho. The Department of Police there caught him and gave the statements out. So he had the ring, and he would hold the package to make it look like he was scanning the package, but the ring would get scanned. And he would walk out of the store with all kinds of crazy crap, like a barbecue and whatnot. And he would just have a pay slip that says he bought 7 cans of soup.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So he was detained at his residence, and the stolen merchandise, including a grill and some other stuff, were recovered. During questioning, this moron actually admitted to doing this over and over at Walmart for a specific or, unspecified length of time. Like, dude, you got caught. You only admit to the one you got caught to. What are you diming yourself out for? You're a moron for somebody who came up with such a good scam.
Yeah, what you should do is have a cupboard full of soup, and they go, "Oh look, there's all the soup I bought."
Yeah, exactly. Make yourself look like the moron you're trying to sell yourself to be, you know? But he was arrested and charged with felony burglary and misdemeanor petty theft. So he'll basically get off scot-free unless, Boise, Idaho has some real hard-on crime thing going on, right? But yeah, if you've been wondering how to make the most out of your self-checkout line, maybe you have a new idea. Maybe not.
Our self-checkout thing, it's kind of like Waze, the stuff that's coming in, and it kind of like knows the way of what you're scanning.
Right.
And quite often, you buy a bottle of wine, set it down, and says, "Well, I don't know what the weight of this is. It's wrong," and you have to get someone to come over to check it. Right. So it's actually, I blame it on Walmart. They should need a better system. Come on.
I wouldn't doubt that what he was doing was scanning things and then putting them on the ground because they were too big, right? Or putting it aside and not on the way part. Right. I thought about it, and that's the only thing that would make sense or this system was flawed big time because but yeah, it's a great scam. It goes to show that life is so expensive for so many people that they'll go to that length just to save a buck.
Yeah, probably can't afford the soup now.
Maybe he never wanted any.
Now, one from one scammy sucker to another one I think is a bit, scammy here. I don't know if guys know him in the US. Steve Coogan has been banned for driving for 2 months after 6, instead of 6, after telling the judge that a lengthy ban would impact the filming of his popular TV comedy series, The Trip. Yes, the actor and comedian was caught doing 97 miles an hour on a 70-mile speed limit while traveling in a Range Rover on the M6 in Staffordshire last year. In a letter to Birmingham Magistrates Court, the 59-year-old urged the court not to disqualify him as he already had 6 points on his license, naughty boy, and was required to drive as part of filming a forthcoming series, The Trip, alongside star Rob Brydon. His requests were for 5 penalty points to be imposed instead of 6, which would have led to a 6-month ban, meaning, he says, the production would likely be unable to proceed. The court ultimately decided to ban him from driving for 2 months instead of 6, meaning the TV show could go ahead as planned.
Wow, why does he get special treatment?
I know. He was also ordered to pay a £2,500 fine, £90
That's nothing
cost.
to him.
No, I know, and £1,000 victim surcharge, which I don't know who the victim was, but you got the picture there that I've got. Bring that one up because this TV show, The Trip, where he does some driving. Steve Coogan is the one on the left. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with that picture and why it would not halt production?
Well, he's not driving.
Yes, exactly. see the thing about The Trip, it's made up, okay? It's made up. So, in the story of The Trip, Steve Coogan, who plays a version of Steve Coogan, can have a banned driving license. Yeah. It could be banned in the story, and you can make it part of the story. So this whole thing of getting out of jail free because it's going to stop the production I think is rather pathetic. Now the worst part of this is he's done this before. Yes, he previously escaped a lengthy driving ban on another occasion, 2019, after successfully arguing that a new series featuring the Alan Partridge, the other character, could not be filmed on public transport. And so he got out of it again using the same excuse.
Can I point out, Steve Coogan was on early Top Gear with Jeremy Clarkson and Hammond and May there as a member of a segment. It was like Clarkson was like, we need somebody who's a real petrol head, Steve Coogan. And Coogan comes on and pretends that he's like this driving car guy. Coogan was brought on again and then did his lap and his interview segment, and that man can barely drive an automobile. He shouldn't be doing these shows. He sucks.
Yeah, no, he likes to think of himself as a petrol head. He knows a bit about
But
cars, but
he's barely faster than Slash, and I think Slash was stoned.
well, he is fast because that's what he keeps getting stopped for and fined.
Man, that's crazy. But twice to be let off because
Yeah.
I'm a TV host.
Yeah,
Fuck you, buddy.
I know. What a git.
Yeah.
So that's the end of Coogan's Bluff.
Yeah, I thought he was like kind of a putz, and now I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah, I think people do think he's a bit of a putz.
Yeah, I'm not impressed at all. Screw you, Coogan. Stop whining.
Which putz are we going to pick on next?
Well, we're picking on the whole thing with Doge because here's how it went down today. Multiple members of Congress were denied entry to the Department of Education today. And this was in video and on social media. And there was posts from lawmakers and all that were there. Here's a quote. They're blocking members of Congress from entering the Department of Education. Now, the Department of Education is a building where you can walk in and say to the secretary, "Hi, would so-and-so be available to see me? My name is such and such." It's not like it's a locked building, okay? And then they said Elon is allowed in and not the people. Illegal. This was Maxwell Frost, rep from somewhere in Florida, I think it is. He said in a post on X, of course. And this is all with the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, right? So President Trump said he would like to close the department via executive order, though fully doing so would require congressional action. Trump is reportedly weighing executive actions to shutter at least parts of the agency or move its primary functions elsewhere, right? Now, an inside source familiar with the situation said the lawmakers went to the department after sending a letter Wednesday night requesting an emergency meeting with the acting education secretary over reports of what Doge is doing, right? And they wanted a meeting within 24 hours and decided to show up to the building Friday morning when they had not heard back in any way, shape, or form from the agency Thursday night. Now, this source told and went on to say the individual blocking the door and denying members entry was with the Office of Security, Facilities, and Logistics Services at the Department of Education. The lawmakers were not given a reason as to why they were not allowed to enter the building, but they had this guy standing there with his glasses on his head, and he wouldn't answer or talk to anybody. He just stood in front of the doors. All right, so another quote here. Protest was organized by members of Congress who were exercising their First Amendment rights, which they are at liberty to do. They did not have any scheduled appointments, and the protest has since ended. Now, that was the Department of Education spokesperson. Notice they didn't have appointments, but you have a lobby. You have an entranceway with a lobby where people can go and walk up and say, "Oh, I have an appointment at 3:30 today with so-and-so." Why weren't they at least allowed in the building? Trump and Musk have also moved aggressively against some other government agencies, as we're all really well aware. And here was another quote here from Rep. Mark Takano, California. "Billionaires can go into this building, but the House of Representatives cannot. There's a lack of transparency here." Another video by Frost shows armed police showing up to the scene. They've called armed federal officers to the scene. "We aren't dangerous. We are here to represent our people, to defend public education. This is an authoritarian regime. You cannot block members of Congress from entering the Department of Education," Frost said. They were also denied entry to Environmental Protection Agency after attempting to meet with Doge officials. And this is going on and on. So what's happening here? If you were unsure, this is a complete and utter attack on American democracy. This is the hard right Republican MAGA people enacting Project 2025, and they're trying to stuff it down your throats without you having a say. Now, we've got some pictures in my next one coming up of people doing the protests all over America, and all I can say is get out there and make yourself seen and heard.
See, I just don't understand. Even though they got like guards on the door, how can they stop them? How can you All they need is to hire some sovereign citizens to go down there and just throw the jargon at them, say, I'm perfectly allowed to do this. I'm perfectly allowed to go in. I don't understand. Just
I know.
barge in.
It's so awful. It's an assault on one of the, oldest and strongest democracies going. I mean, holy gosh, man. This can't get worse, and it will, sadly.
Yes, well, it will get worse, but don't worry. There's some good news on the horizon because apparently cocaine is no worse than whiskey,
and it's only
illegal because it comes from Latin America, said Colombian President Gustavo Petro during a live broadcast. Yeah, Colombia is the world's biggest cocaine producer and exporter, mainly to the United States and Europe, and has spent decades fighting against drug trafficking. During a 6-hour ministerial meeting broadcast live for the first ever time, the leftist president said that cocaine is illegal because it's made in Latin America, not because it is worse than whiskey.
He said with a deviated septum.
He said scientists have analyzed this. Cocaine is no worse than whiskey. Yeah, they say analyzed it, snorted it probably. How do you make the comparison? He says if you want peace, you have to dismantle the business of drug trafficking. It can only be dismantled if they legalize cocaine in the world.
So it's not our fault for making it. It's your fault for transporting it around and selling it.
Yeah, exactly. Petro also pointed out that fentanyl is killing Americans and is not made in Colombia, so it's not our fault. Apparently, fentanyl has killed 75,000 deaths in America. So it's killed 75,000. Well, it's caused 75,000. What was it? 100 million? Trump said. I think hundreds of millions.
Somebody was snorting coke when they wrote that sentence. Got it wrong.
He says fentanyl was created as a pharmacy drug by North American multinationals, and those who consumed it became addicted. He said,
because cocaine has never addicted anyone, cracker.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a little bit of cocaine. Cocaine production in Colombia reached a record high in 2023.
As long as you snort it off her tummy, it's okay.
It jumped up 53% to 2.6 thousand tons, according to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. Yeah,
whoa. That's a lot more than the 47 pounds of fentanyl that came from Canada into the United States, isn't it? Just a little bit more?
But it's okay. I mean, okay, if they made it illegal, who's going to franchise it? Do you think Coca-Cola would take it on? Or would they try to sue? Can't use that name. That's our name.
Oh, imagine that, eh? Yeah.
I'd like to teach the world to snort
a big line of cocaine.
Oh dear! And you'll have Mac Cola as well because they can't have Coca-Cola in McDonald's, can they?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, McSnorties.
That's Wendy's.
So let me share some photos here with you, everybody. These are from some of the protests going around the United States right now. Whoever made this clown gesture or court gesture, whatever, Trump, is awesome. I love your style. That's awesome. Now, let me get the little snicky over here. Here we go. Look at this one. Then and now, Mein Kampf Project 2025. Oh, I love it. This one here, both my parents lost their jobs thanks to President Musk. Oh, yeah, man. The only minority ruining this country is the rich.
We call them now the Reich.
Yeah, the Reich. Now see this one here. Watch this one. Make Nazis afraid again.
Yes.
Or this one's obvious trans reference and whatnot, right? Please don't let them kill us. And that's like Anybody who doesn't fit the binary right now must be scared as all hell in America. I would be. Why is this guy from Fox News running our military? That's such a sad thing to see, but it's true.
I'm sure the military are asking the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, man. The USA is on genocide watch. Literally, right? Here's one. I'll never forget January 6th. Good jacket. I like that very much. I like that a lot. They'll never forget because they were there. Yeah, probably, right?
In the Capitol building.
Yeah. And science is truth there. I like that one. Fuck the oligarchy, tariff and tiaras. This is really good. Dictator, convicted felon loser, deport convicted presidents. I love that. Here, let me zoom that in just to make sure you really get to see it. Okay. Oops, I got that all screwed up now. There we go. Deport felon. Oh man, I could do this all night. There's too many, but I'll show you like one or two more. America.
The fact they're having to blur out people's faces.
Yeah.
That says a lot. Yeah. They're protecting people. And why do they have to protect protesters?
And this is from BuzzFeed, so we'll give them a total shout out for protecting these people because I agree with it. I would have blurred them out too, but thankfully somebody did it for me. And here, we came here to eat tacos and crush fastest, and we're all out of tacos.
I like it.
I love that one. Yeah. Before we lose it. Supercalifragilistic, fragile, racist, sexist, Nazi, POTUS. Jesus was an illegal immigrant. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you imagine if Trump actually met Jesus, he would think he's just some tree-hugging hippie with patchouli oil wearing guy and lock him up, right?
Yeah.
See a Nazi, say a Nazi. Right? We will never go back. Fight fascism. So you get the idea here. It's very important to make your voice heard right now if you live anywhere in America because, oh, wow, do they need it. Stand up and be heard.
And hopefully you've got a very blurry face.
Yes. And, you make sure you just wear a pixel mask, right?
Oh, dear.
All right. Where are you next here?
I have no idea. Oh, yeah, the turd news. Turd desk. Yes, because Memphis Zoo in Tennessee, United States, in case you didn't know, so thank you for telling me that, is celebrating Valentine's Day with a fun promotion. For a $10 donation, fans can send one of two videos, a cute red panda munching on a grape or a humorous video of an elephant having a dump. This dating or dumping offer lets you send a fun Valentine's gift to your sweetheart or ex-sweetheart. The options for the Valentine's Day surprise gifts are an adorable video of the panda or the stinky elephant. Yeah, you got the choice. I got got an ex that deserves a stinking surprise, they say. This Valentine's, let an elephant do the talking. Or maybe you found the one and you want to send them something adorable. Our red pandas have got you covered. Yeah,
an elephant crap will fill a bathroom, man. Like that's a big file they're sending, right? You know?
Maybe just send the elephant around. Yeah, just for $10. Yeah, I'm not going to promote this. Yeah, but they're not our sponsors tonight, so I'm not going to promote it. But
pay up, bitches.
He says that they say that the zoo said that on social media that the elephant poop videos are good for more than just exes. Maybe it's your annoying neighbor, overbearing mother-in-law, ex, or a co-worker who still gives you nightmares.
Well, have they ever heard of if you don't have anything nice to say, shut your mouth? I mean, like,
I know.
What the hell?
I know the world is getting to that point. You know, we were talking about that the other night. Is we've got nothing decent to say, nice to say. Shut up.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if we did that, we wouldn't have a show.
Well, I guess you're right there. Okay, never mind what I said. Here, wait a minute. We need the.
Don't even worry about it.
All right, continue.
No, you carry on. I'm done with the dump.
Okay, well, fuck all that then. Here, where else are we going? Oh yeah. So this is an asshole, a real big asshole. His name
he needs an elephant poop.
Oh yeah. I wish I had here. We'll give him some donkey. His name is Russell Vought, and the U.S. Senate has confirmed him as Trump's nominee to lead the White House Budget Office. Democrats staged an all-night hearing in the chamber in protest. They tried, but they just don't have enough people in the chamber to actually pull it off, right? Vought's nomination to lead the Office of Management and Budget has been controversial, to say the least, due to his role as an author of Project 2025.
Could it be?
Which is literally,
isn't it kind of ironic? His name is Vote.
Yeah. And I mean, like, this whole Project 2025 is the priorities for heavy conservative right-wing stuff for Trump in his second term, which Trump says that he's not even a part of. Dear God, such lies, right?
Yeah, he's never seen it, never heard of it.
Exactly, right? So the Democrats held the floor all night Thursday, delivering speeches criticizing Vought's role in this Trump effort to shrink the federal government. But with the Democrats, like we said, with the minority, there was no hope of it stopping, right? So Project 2025, like I need to explain it, is the Heritage Foundation. It's one of Washington's most right-wing think tanks, and they call for federal bureaucracy cuts, independent agencies, and everything being decimated, like is being happened to America right now. It also advocates for the eliminating of job protections, thousands of government employees, yada, yada, blah, blah. And Vought here wrote a key chapter in the document on the executive office of the president. He is the one that says most of this stuff should just literally fall under the president's whim. You know, no more offices for this stuff to be overwatched and done properly. No, just let the president do it, right?
You mean the dictator?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I get my words mixed up at times. I do try to be accurate, though. Faced with the quick pace, though, of Trump's executive orders, Democrats rallied around the funding of the federal budget in the overnight session and sought to make an example of Vought in an attempt to tank his nomination. You know, they said he was the most dangerous nominee to control over funds that have been allocated by Congress, right? The Democratic minority Senate leader Chuck Schumer there described Vought as the most radical nominee who has the most extreme agenda. You know, we want Americans every hour, whether it's 8 p.m. or 3 a.m., to hear how bad Russell Vought is and the danger he poses to them in their daily lives. Russell Vought was the puppet master behind the funding shutdown that threw the country into chaos, Elizabeth Warren said, referring to last week's funding freeze. But again, Republicans hold a 53-47 majority over Democrats in the chamber. So there's nothing that can be done, right? And then you had Utah Senator Mike Lee, who literally licks the crack of the golden throne of said Trump. He says, if you like what you've been seeing from President Trump and Doge, get ready, because Russ Vought is going to be a lean, mean budget-cutting machine. So what we've been reporting on that's going on in America with all of this decimation of real democracy, this asshat, now that he's confirmed, is only going to make it worse. I don't know how America's going to survive this, man. We're going to be supporting them coming up.
Maybe we should join in. Yeah.
Join
the winning team.
Man, I feel so sorry for all of my American friends, because I know every one of you didn't want this, didn't vote for this, and now you're just suffering through it. God, man, God help you. We got just enough time for this one here, and I bet we might as well, right?
Okie dokie, yeah, because this is a well, I'm not too sure how to classify this story, but yeah, Lego. Oh, remember that nice little toy? Lego is anti-LGBT and promotes the idea that there are only two genders.
I'm sorry, what?
An exhibition at the Science Museum in the UK has claimed, yes, titled "Stories of Queer Communities, Experiences and Identities." Oh God, that sounds like a right hoot. A self-guided tour at the London-based museum includes a display of Lego bricks and a message supporting the arguments that the toy can be against the idea of inclusion.
What? Okay, hold on. I just want to point out. Hold on. I just want to point out here that Lego has been shown to be very positive for neurodiverse people and whatnot. So I don't see how it can be against inclusion. So finish, because I know you're going to make me either look stupid or smart here.
Well, I'm just going to explain. I'm going to dunk-splain to you. Yes, because the top of the brick is sticking out pins. Is male.
It's a penis.
The bottom of the brick with holes to receive the pins is female.
So, okay, hold on a minute. Doesn't that mean that playing with Lego is building a human centipede?
No, it's pornography. What are you talking about?
Isn't that just jamming cocks into asses over and over again? Like, isn't that LG?
You haven't seen that movie, have you? But anyway, yes, apparently, but the process of putting the two sides together is called mating. Ooh, what about a bit of foreplay first? A bit of dinner and a drink first.
Give her a kiss, boy.
But yeah, it states that without adding any source that the people consider Lego to be gendered. No, I've been playing with Lego since I was a kid. I still generally do, and I've never really thought about it, and I never felt dirty or horny or a little bit gay or anything.
I have never spooged in my pants from playing Lego.
Yes. So the museum claims this is an example of applying heteronormative language to topics unrelated to gender and sex reproduction. Well, yeah, it would if that's what people that use Lego call these things. If they called the top, penises and the bottom bit pussies, and they call the action of putting the bricks together sex. Yeah,
I'm doing Lego, baby. I'm doing Lego.
What? Yeah. I would get their point if that was the case, but that's not the case. Obviously, the internet has had a few things to say about this. Elon Musk even chimed in, sharing the story, which is the clown face. I mean, yeah, actually, Elon, I'm kind of on your side of this one. And other people said, stop seeing things queerly. Problem solved, said another user. Well, what about magnets? They have two poles. Magnets aren't transphobic. What about batteries? They have an anode and a cathode. Batteries are transphobic too. Well, okay, but that's not the wording. That's not what they're arguing about. But even though they've made up the wording, but they also, someone else said, are they going to make non-binary Lego parts next? And we got a picture of
it's called a brick.
actually, that's not non-binary. That's a singularity.
I don't get it, man. I'm sorry. I have nothing against the fight for LGBTQ plus inclusion and equality. I think it's actually something that everybody should strive for. But you're never going to get there doing stupid shit like this.
No. If you've got people scratching their heads thinking, what the fuck are you on about? That is not going to help their cause whatsoever.
Exactly. So we're out of time. We're out of here. We got an after show. See us over there. Thanks for joining us. Click like, share, and subscribe.
And if you like this show, there might be a couple of more videos at the end of the show you might want to click on. Go watch those. Until then, stay shilly, everybody.